So what role does mindset play in trading and investing? Here's what I'll say. I'll say this, okay? Most people come to trading expecting to make a fortune because they hear these stories about people like Curtis Faith, who made an astronomical sum of money in 4 years, having only learned trading for 1 week. Or they hear about Ed Sekoto, who took $5,000 and turned it into 15 million. And then they start thinking about the possibilities. And then they start seeing these advertisements with these parabolic equity curves and people making an astronomical sum of money. And so they think, right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. However, they start studying it, they start learning it, start thinking about it, and suddenly they're not experiencing the results. So the expectations and the reality, there's a disparity between these two things. So they start blaming people, they start blaming the teachers, the educators, the institutions, their friends, their family, their partners, start blaming everybody. It's not their fault, it's somebody else's fault. So they start losing money. And here's a very painful true fact. Did you know less than 1% of the world are millionaires? Less than 1% of the world are millionaires. In the 1920s, it was 1 to 3%. In the 1940s, it was 1 to 3%. In the 70s and the 80s, it was 1 to 3%. In the 90s, it was 1 to 3%. And today, it's still 1 to 3%. Now, in Tibet, there was a very famous experiment where they gathered all the wealth together and redistributed it equally to absolutely everybody. And so everybody had the exact same amount of money. But within a short amount of time, within 3 months, the poor went back to being poor, the middle class type people went back to being middle class, and the rich went back to being rich. 3 times they did this experiment, and every single time the result was exactly the same. And I always ask groups of people when I see them, let's think about this now, everybody. If you met somebody that looked like you, act like you, behaved like you, could actually be you but wasn't you, had the same characteristics, the same mindset, if you could give them all the money that you had and you could go on holiday for 3 years, would you expect that person to have more money, less money, or the same amount of money? Would you ever realistically give that money to trade it for you? 95% of the people in the room, every time I ask that question, say, no, I wouldn't give it. But yet, they're trading their money. And so, here's the reality. Oh, here's what really shapes on financial destiny and what your results you are going to create in your financial trading. Your financial destiny, the destination where you're going to end up, is determined by the results that you get in your trading and your investing. The consistent results, not one result, the consistent results. Those results are determined by the actions. Those actions are going to be determined by the decisions. Those decisions are going to be determined by the emotional state that you're in. You don't make good decisions when you're feeling bad. You make terrible decisions when you're feeling bad in trading and investing. Fear of losing, missing out, being wrong, leaving money on the table, and bad thoughts and good thoughts, right? Those all shape what you actually do. Now, those feelings are predetermined by what you focus on. And what you focus on is going to be based on a series of things in your mind. Your identity. Who do you believe you are? If you label yourself and you perceive yourself as something, you don't get in this world what you want. You get more of who you believe you are. So if you think of yourself and you believe that you're a victim, your brain will create a situation where you become a victim. If you perceive yourself as a poor person, a loser, a victim, right, you're going to end up losing the money because it's going to be aligned with how you perceive yourself. Then there's your values. What do you value? Now, most people think that they value money, but they don't. What they value is what they can do with the money. That's why they don't accumulate wealth. Right? Now, if we think rich people are evil, rich people are bad, money doesn't grow on trees, traders are evil, traders are bad people, those people that work for that financial institution is evil. You can't take it with you. It corrupts you. It won't make you a good person. And this is going around their mind. And then they start to do some trading, investing, and their brain thinks that the brain unconsciously is running messages around all the time. They suddenly come to doing financial trading and investing and go, oh yeah, I'm going to make some money, support my wife, support the children, support my husband. I'm going to buy this house, pay off the mortgage. Now, the brain's just got this message going, wait a minute, but traders are evil, traders are bad people, and having money is not a good thing, etc. So they start trading and the brain's going, well, what we better do is help this person not to have money because they will become evil. They will become a bad person. They will have to do something crooked. They will have to not be a person that they like. And suddenly they find themselves failing at trading. Also, you got what you believe is possible. What do you think you deserve? If you associate what you think you deserve, anybody else deserves, and you're given more than what you think you truly unconsciously, this is nothing to do with conscious, this is what you unconsciously believe you deserve, you will come back down to that level. So your reflection, your financial situations, your results of what you're achieving in your life is a reflection of your identity, your values, your reason for why you're doing it, what you think is possible, what you think you deserve, and what you believe you're capable of in the environment that you put yourself in. These things will all shape what you focus on. What you focus on will determine the emotional state that you're in. What the state will determine the decisions will determine the actions will determine the consistent results, your consistent results will determine your financial destiny. Which is why when you think about it, why so many self-made millionaires lose the money, get it back, because of their mindset. It's the mindset that they have that gets them back to that situation. And which is why two people could go to the exact same financial education seminar, have the same experience and get completely different results, because what's going on and how they're processing it. So does trading have anything to do with psychology? Yes. It's everything to do with psychology, completely and utterly, because that psychology, that mindset, everybody has got something called like a financial thermostat. And everybody has the amount of money, what they think they deserve, what they think they're capable of, what they think is possible, what is aligned with their values, what is aligned with their identity. And how much money you have is predetermined by that psychology. Which is why the people in Tibet, when they were given the money, ended up back without it, because of their psychology and what their true values were and what their identity was. Which is why when people come to trading and investing without the right mindset, in order to do it, in order to execute, there's an inconsistency, and they can look at it and go, how is it that person's successful and I'm not? Because they've got a different set of values, different sets of beliefs about money, trading and investing, different sorts of characteristics, what they think they're capable of, what they think they deserve. And if you're one of the 97% of people who are looking at their life thinking, I thought I would have been in a better financial situation by now, the reason why you're not where you want to be financially is because of your identity, your values, and your beliefs about what you think is possible, what's capable, what you think you deserve, and what you believe about money. And unless you change those variables, you've got a 97% probability of being in the exact same situation 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Clement Stone studied the psychology of wealth as he grew up and applied those principles and went around telling everybody that the mindset is responsible for growing wealth. He took $100 and turned it into billions. Bill Bartman was once the 25th richest man in America. And Bill Bartman said he'd learned the secret of success. And like all truths, it's simple. He says the secret to financial success is mastering your psychology, your self-esteem, and learning how to set goals. But that's not what people think. They think about entry signals. They go, oh, it's not me. It's my system. Oh, it's the market. And they start blaming everything beyond themselves. But they're not realizing that you are successful in alignment with your values, with your psychology, what you think you deserve, what you think is possible, what you think is capable, what your beliefs are about that activity, and your identity. Because all, as I said, and I'll say it again, those things will determine what you focus on. What you focus on will determine the state, the emotional state that you go into. That emotional state will determine your decisions. That will determine your actions. That will determine your results. And that will determine where your financial destiny is, where you end up. So enter your name and email address below. Watch the free video. Listen to the 6 free audio tracks. And take the first step in discovering how to achieve the financial wealth and freedom that you desire.